This is the official roadmap of the India-Netherlands Strategic Partnership from May 2026. It outlines standard modern agreements on semiconductor supply chains, green hydrogen corridors, and sustainable agriculture. But tucked into this diplomatic visit was a different kind of exchange, the official repatriation of the Anaimangalam copper plates, widely known as the Leiden plates. These are 21 heavy, oxidized copper plates locked together on a massive bronze ring, creating a bulky, permanent physical record. This single object bridges two vastly different worlds. It connects the legal complexities of modern global negotiations directly to the forgotten geopolitics of medieval South India. Recovering stolen artifacts like these is notoriously difficult. International frameworks, specifically the 1970 UNESCO and 1995 UNIDROIT conventions, are supposed to govern cultural restitution. However, these laws share a significant legal void. They are strictly non-retroactive. This timeline shows a hard cutoff line right at 1970. Anything extracted during centuries of colonial occupation prior to that date has zero automatic protection. To bypass that gridlock, countries are forced to step outside the international courtroom. They rely instead on direct bilateral state-to-state negotiations to get their history back. The modern diplomatic maneuvering required to return the Leiden plates mirrors the high-level medieval diplomacy that was inscribed onto them in the first place. The plates themselves act as a bilingual legal charter. The top section is written in Sanskrit Granva script, documenting the ancestral genealogy of the ruling Chola kings. Below that, the language switches to Tamil to record the operational details of the charter, outlining land boundaries, water rights, and tax exemptions. Securing the entire stack is a massive bronze seal. The prominent symbol in the center is the tiger, the official dynastic emblem of the Chola Empire. But look at what flanks it. You have the twin fish representing the Pandyas and the bow representing the Cheras. Positioning these icons alongside the tiger was a direct declaration of Chola military dominance over their neighbors. When historians translated the text, they uncovered a specific grant. Emperor Raja Chola I was gifting land and nearly 9,000 measures of paddy to a Buddhist monastery called the Chudamani Vihara. The funding came from an unexpected source, an Indonesian Srivijaya king. The Cholas were devout Hindus, yet they were actively funding a Buddhist site for a foreign ally, proving their empire was a connected hub of maritime diplomacy. That monastery was located in the port city of Nagapattinam, which operated as the last true stronghold of Buddhism in South India. The physical scale of that stronghold remained buried until the mid-19th century. British workers were dismantling a ruined brick tower on the coast to build a school, and underneath an ancient tree, they stumbled into a hidden subterranean chamber. Inside, they found a massive cache of exquisitely carved Buddhist bronzes. Nearly 350 statues had been hurriedly buried beneath the roots to protect them from a hostile raid. For decades, these bronzes lacked context. That changed when historians cross-referenced the cache with the operational details translated from the Leiden plates, allowing them to map the true scale of the site. Combining that chance archaeological dig with the Copper Charter forced a rewrite of South Indian history. It revealed a thriving, pluralistic Buddhist community operating right under the umbrella of Hindu Chola rule. Unfortunately, uncovering that history coincided with the peak of the colonial era, leading to the systematic fracturing of Nagapattinam's heritage. Those 350 unearthed bronzes, along with the copper plates themselves, were dispersed globally. They were shipped out of India and locked away in museum vaults across London, Chicago, New York, and the Netherlands. Because international restitution laws cannot be applied retroactively, the physical evidence of South India's pluralistic maritime history was legally stranded in the West. To get these pieces back, former colonies have to abandon the idea of relying on international courts and instead negotiate based on cultural self-determination. Which brings us back to the May 2026 strategic partnership. India and the Netherlands successfully bypassed that international legal void. They utilized a new blueprint for restitution. Instead of lawsuits, they used high-level state-to-state diplomacy, long-term museum collaborations, and bilateral treaties to negotiate the plate's return. Under this framework, the primary driving force for returning colonial artifacts is the direct political will of the individual nations involved. Centuries ago, the Leiden plates formalized an ancient alliance. Today, their return proves that dedicated bilateral diplomacy can step in where international laws fail, right historical wrongs, and finally bring a nation's lost heritage home.